Hello everyone, in this video we'll be talking about vegetative propagation, the asexual mode of reproduction in plants. Okay, this type of asexual reproduction occurs only in plants, and in this method a new plant is obtained from parts of old plant. It can be a stem, root, leaves without the help of a reproductive organ. Okay, what are the advantages of this type of a reproduction? First of all, the plant which is raised by this method can bear flowers and fruits earlier, okay, than the those which are produced by seeds. Okay, all plants produced in this method are genetically similar enough to that of the parent plant. So the first type of vegetative propagation that we are going to see is in bryophyllum. So in bryophyllum, what happens? There are these tiny bud-like structures which are found on the leaf corners, or you can say the margins. So bud are present on the stem as well as on the leaves of the bryophyllum. Okay, and that plant which can develop into a new plant. So as you can see here, this is the root, the white thread-like structure is the root, and these are the leaves. So same way you can see in this picture. So let's have a quick review how we get a quick weed experimentation where we can see how a bryophyllum leaf develops new buds. As you can see here, we are taking a piece of the leaf and we are going to cut off one of the leaves from the bryophyllum plant and we are going to place it under above the soil in a, so they have cut off the stem. Can you see that? The stalk of the leaf is being cut off and it is placed on the pot with mud. Okay, and we are going to pour water on a regular basis and gradually we'll observe what is happening. So initially they are just spraying water, right? And we are going to do it like 2 to 3 days regular watering so that the roots can start developing and the bud can start developing in the margins of the bryophyllum. So you can gradually see these tiny buds. This happens nearly after 15 days of regular watering. And you see these tiny buds which have come up, tiny stem and leaves. At the back of this leaf, you can see the roots also being developed. As they, can you see this? And at the back of it, you can see the tiny thread-like structure which is called as the roots, which will be shown in a minute. So these are the roots, right? This is how bryophyllum grows new plant through the leaves. So what happens? Bryophyllum plant can be produced by vegetative propagation by using the piece of a stem or just the leaf. As we saw in the experiment that we took the leaf wherein we have cut off the stalk. The plant a broken piece of this particular stem of bryophyllum or in the ground and we will get a new plant growing from it in a week's time, but it takes around 15 days. If the leaf of the plant has special bud type of buds in their margins, these buds may get detached from the leaves once they are mature enough. And once they get detached from the leaf, they'll fall to the ground and then they'll grow in and produce a new bryophyllum. Okay, there are different various types of bryophyllum. The bud in this bryophyllum is different from the bud that you can see in this one, right? So each margin will develop into a new bud. Let's look into the vegetative propagation in carrots, onion, ginger. Now carrot, if you cut the top part of the carrot, that is the stem part of the carrot, and you place it in the water, gradually within 1 week you can see these green leaves coming out, sprouting out. Similarly, when a ginger is left out, from each bud you can see the leaves or the stem-like structure protruding out. Same thing happens with money plant and onion. Onion is also a stem, tuber. Is tuber is more of your potato, but stem is onion and your money plant. So if you leave an onion upside down, the root part inside the water, gradually the root will start developing and the stems also stem and leaf starts produce. Okay, growing out. Similarly, when you put a cutting of a money plant in water, gradually from the stem you can see the roots growing at the same time some leaves growing out. Now the tuber reproduction, vegetative propagation of a tuber, that is the potato. That is what we are going to look into. What happens, the tuber developing into a new plant, okay, from a potato. Let's have a look. As you can see here, we have taken a potato and we have placed it. Gradually, the small tiny buds can be seen sprouting off, and the size of the potato is shrinking. Why it is shrinking? Because the growing tube leaves and the new buds are going to use up the nutrients which is stored in the potato as starch. So it will be used up and the buds are going to develop. So can you see the leaf structure protruding out and the actual potato shrinking out because all the nutrients are being used up, right? This is how vegetative propagation can be seen in potato. Without having a seed, we can grow potato directly by putting it under the soil and gradually watering it. Same way we can do it for garlic, onion, radish. Okay. These were the natural ways of vegetative propagation. There are different ways of artificial propagation that can be done. So what is the purpose of artificial propagation? The purpose of artificial propagation is that we need to take the best characteristics of two plants and we want to fuse it. What do I mean by that? This is particularly done in those plants which are either flowering plant or they are fruit bearing plants. So there are some plants in which, suppose for an example, you take orange plant or a mango tree. A mango tree would be, a particular mango tree can bear large number of mangoes, but the sweetness of the mango is not that strong, that good. But where we have another mango variety, wherein that mango will bear, tree will bear less number of mangoes, but the sweetness is very good. So what they do is they actually take the cutting of the second mango tree whose fruits are very sweet. They'll take that cutting, the main mango tree whose number is of production of mangoes are more, in that they'll make a slit like this, slight cut in the stem of the mango tree, and they'll insert the second mango whose mango were more sweeter. That stem is being inserted and it's taped like this and it's left out. So can you see the stem of the second mango tree and the main mango tree? The main mango tree is the called as the primary or the major, and the second is called the minor. Major, why? Because it gives because the production is a large number of production, and all the mangoes which will be produced will be sweeter in nature because that sweetness has been developed from the second stem. As you leave it this way, within 15 to 20 days, you will see a new stem or a leaf protruding out, and this stem and leaf which will grow will bear fruits which are more sweeter, and the further tree will be bearing more number of fruits, plus the sweetness is also leveled up. So this method is called as grafting. Grafting is a method in which the cut stem of the two different plants, one with the root, mostly the one which we need in large production, that particular tree will be with the root and the other is the without the root, are joined together in such a way that the two stems join and grow as single plant. So let's look into the procedure. So can you see in the A part, they have taken a root base and the without root base. Now in the root base tree, a root based plant, what they're doing, they are putting a cut in the center and they're placing the without the root base stem inside it, and we are taping it with a normal sellotape and covering it with the plastic, okay, and leaving it. So it will grow new stems. The new plant will have the characteristic of both the original plant. The cut stem is called as the stalk, and the cut stem, sorry, having the root is called as the stalk, and the cut stem with has no roots is called as the scion. So the mango tree, which I gave you the example, the mango tree with the roots and which will be bearing more number of fruits, large number of fruits, is called as the stalk, and the fruit and the mango tree cut stem, which will be grafted with the main tree and whose fruit will be sweet, is called as the scion. So this is how a grafting is done. Next method is layering. What is the meaning of layering? In layering, what we do is we actually cut the piece of the stem, a little bit slit is made, and it is inserted inside the soil, and it's covered by soil all four sides. So it's actually bending and putting the stem of this leaf inside the soil. But we actually put a cut first in the stem and then we insert, we just dug a little bit of a pit next to the plant and we just bury it under the soil and leave it. Okay, and we have placed a clip so that the stem doesn't move away from its position. So layering is again a method in which a branch of the plant is pulled towards the ground and a part of it is covered with moist soil, leaving the tip of the branch exposed above the ground. Now, after some time, maybe a week or 10 days later, new roots will develop from the part of the branch which is buried in the soil. This branch is then cut from the parent plant. So the part of the branch which has developed roots grows and becomes a new plant. Okay, so this is how layering can be done. So what they have done, this plant is the parent plant. It's a flowering plant. They have just took a branch of it, they have bent it, they have put inside the soil, and for weight so that it doesn't move, they put a stone. After a few weeks, you will see the roots coming out, and this particular stem, from where the roots are being formed, the main branch is cut off and left away, and the new plant starts developing. This is layering. And the last type of vegetative propagation is cutting. Cutting means what? The branch of any flowering plant is cut off, and that branch, okay, that cut stem is being put into the soil, like you grow seeds. Like the same way it is being put in the soil, you dig a particular pit, you put the stem inside it, close it completely with all nutrients, manure and soil, and keep watering it. So after 15 days, the stem will start developing root and tiny buds. This type of vegetative propagation is seen in jasmine plants. The cutting, the way the cut is used, cut part of the stem is used to grow a new plant. Jasmine plant. You have rose plants wherein the cutting method is used for reproduction. So these are the different ways of vegetative propagation: natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. So artificial, we saw layering, grafting, cutting. Natural propagation, vegetative propagation is through leaves, that's bryophyllum, through stem, that is radish or onion, money plant, through root is your is the turmeric. Okay. Hope it is clear. Thank you.